New developments in the case of an Akron 2-year-old who froze to death on her own front porch last month. Winter Parker's parents have now been charged in this case. Well, Tiara Williams and Darian Parker are charged with felony endangering in connection with Winter's death. Prosecutors, a little girl wandered out into the freezing cold on February 2nd. Parker, who works a night shift job, fell asleep while watching the child. She was found unresponsive on the porch outside the family's home. Williams and Parker will be in court tomorrow.
YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again, hit you with a video. Now this video is an update of a story that I did a couple months ago where it was a 2-year-old child from Akron, Ohio that was allegedly locked outside or wandered outside, and the child ended up freezing to death on the front porch. And that story made a lot of controversy. I have got a lot of feedback from that story, and I want to thank you all for the feedback and also your input on that story, because that was a very sad situation. Well, we had a young girl, 2 years old, basically just being a child, being a little baby, a toddler, however you want to call it, and basically doing what children do. They wander around, and if you leave a door open or a screen door or whatever, because we both know, unless that child know how to get up and open the regular door, we ain't talking about the screen door, because that's kind of easy, you just push it forward. But unless they know how to turn a knob, which a lot of them do, because these children are real smart. You'll be amazed some of the videos that you see with these little children still in diapers can climb on top of refrigerators, scoot a chair up. So it's not impossible, but at the same time, the sad situation is the fact that they left out some of the details, key details to the story, whereas in this situation the mom was gone, and the mom also has other kids also. So she was gone with the other kids. Now the dad was asleep, but they left out the key detail why the dad was asleep. The dad was asleep because the dad works at nighttime. The dad works the graveyard shift, if you will. So they left that out in mainstream. I guess they were trying to make the father look like a deadbeat dad, or just your average thuggish person who just have children, don't work and don't take care of the children. You know how the media portrays them. But the truth came out, the father was asleep, and that's why the father wasn't awake to tend to his daughter, because he was asleep from working at nighttime. So I'm going to read a snippet from this story, and I'm going to give my opinion. Surely as we go. Ohio couple faces felony after 2-year-old daughter froze to death on the front porch. 2 parents in Ohio are facing a felony charge of child endangerment after their 2-year-old daughter froze to death in February. The little girl, Winter Parker, was found unresponsive on the family's front porch in Akron on February the 2nd. She was rushed to the hospital but was later pronounced dead. Tiara Williams, 22, and Darian Parker, 24, were charged on Tuesday with the felony, reported NBC 12. Detectives said that Williams left the girl with Parker while she went to run errands, and that's a natural thing that we all do. Now, but the father, who works a night shift job, apparently fell asleep, and the girl wandered outside. And anybody that work night shift, you be up all night long, you tired when you get home. Now, I understand you got children, you take care of your children, this and that, but come on. Human nature, this law of physics, however you want to explain it, put it out there. You're going to get tired. Your body going to shut down no matter if you got 10 kids to look after. But at the same time, you make provisions, you make preparations. But I'm not saying that the father knew that his daughter was going to wander outside in the cold. I mean, if he knew that, he probably would have put a couch in front of the door or anything else. Because from what I hear, they didn't say anything about it was neglecting the situation or the children getting beat, or as they like to put out in the media, the house was nasty, it was roaches are running around, the kitchen had a sink full of dirty dishes, trash all over the floor. It did not say anything. So these people are just doing everyday people things, trying to work and get by. The mom was running errands. The dad was tired from working the night shift. But what made me mad, what pissed me off is the fact when I first reported the story, they left that key part out. And I was wondering, why was this guy at home? Even though, you know, we give objective opinions over here. A lot of my subscribers were saying, well, Trey, maybe the guy work at nighttime. Someone said, well, maybe he don't. So I'm thinking like, well, you know, hopefully he do something. That's all. I just left it up because I hear so much. I always left a doubt of hope in there, if you will. Just hoping that he was, you know, working or something. He was just very tired. So let's get that cleared up right now. But it's sad that the media left that key component out of the whole story, because that right there was the catalyst that built up on the whole story while the girl wandered outside in the first place. Because if the dad wasn't at work the night before and so tired, he would have been up to prevent his child from going outside, being outside that long and freezing to death. I mean, don't it make sense? It makes sense to me. Now, the mother found her child there when she returned home. Krista Lucas, a neighbor, told WKYC that she often had to tell Williams and Parker to bring their children inside. Like, they might be in there, whatever. It's cold, you know what I'm saying? I don't stay in Ohio. I've never been in Ohio. So I'm sure that it gets very cold, you know what I'm saying? Because where I'm at, it gets damn cold. So I know it gets real cold way over there. So I don't know what's really going on with that situation, and a lot of people say, well, maybe they were just leaving their children outside or this or that. I really don't know. But the neighbor said she had to tell them to bring the children inside. Now, it was a few times where I had to take both of her kids home. She said, it's just a very sad situation. It literally broke my heart. And this is what it sounds like more to me, that the mom should have been more responsible in this situation, because it did not say that the mom worked. It said the dad worked night shift. It didn't say the mom worked during the daytime or at night. But at the same time, the mom, why didn't she take the child with her when she was out running errands and let the father rest from being asleep? You know what I'm saying? I mean, rest from having to work at nighttime. Does that make sense to anyone? I mean, just picture you being a mom. Would you not take your child with you and let the father rest that's working and paying the bills since he worked all night long? You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you would do that, because how can a sleepy person watch a baby? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that. Now, after the death, the couple took to the fundraising platform GoFundMe to try to raise money for Winter's funeral. And I had put a link to that description in my video that I previously made, to where you all, if you want to donate to them, you could donate to them and help with burial costs. So they raised some money for the child. I don't know if it was enough or not, but we will see. Now, the death of losing a child is like losing your breath and never catching it again. And that's true. Today, I'm filled with deep sorrow, grief, complete emptiness, and pure agony. I am filled with tremendous regret as I announce the passing of my 2-year-old little girl, Winter, Williams wrote. While Winter and her dad slept peacefully, Winter began the growing, curious, ambitious toddler that she is awakened from her nap without disturbing dad and left our home. No one was aware that she was outside in the snowfall and freezing temperatures, with life slipping away from her, dying. My little girl froze to death. When I found her, she was alone and unresponsive. My sweet little girl, who was always so warm and full of life, was now cold and lifeless. And my thing is this right here. Did the child cry out? I mean, because picture this. The neighbor said that she had to bring the children in, not just that child, not just Winter herself, but her siblings also had to bring them inside the house and let the parents know your children outside. So where was the neighbors then? Did Winter cry out? And I'm sure she was cold. Hell, if I'm cold out there, I'm a grown-ass man, and I ain't got nowhere to get in. I'm gonna cry out. Hell, next thing I know, I'm gonna be going up in somebody's damn house. You just gonna have to call the police. At least I'll be somewhere where it's warm. But I'm not trying to be funny. I'm making a point. Where was the people that surround this apartment? What was they at? I mean, did the child just sit there? I mean, I don't understand that. But I mean, when you're dealing with hypothermia, strange things happen, so you before you know it, you've been passed out or whatever. I really don't know. Now, the mom added, she was immediately rushed to the hospital where a team of doctors tried everything they could to save my baby girl, but within hours, she succumbed to her injuries. There was nothing more that could be done. It was too late. The GoFundMe raised $1,531, and it should have raised at least $10,000, $20,000 to have a good proper burial. But hey, God bless whoever gave them that money, because I don't receive any of it. I don't need any of it. It's for the family, for the people who are here suffering and losing their loved ones. Whether we want to say the mom at fault or not, the child still has to be buried. And just hope this be a lesson to them. Now, I don't know what's going to come forward from this, and I will let you all know for us their court dates or whatever, and also the sentencing. But for them to get a felony charge of child endangerment, it's kind of, I want to say, because I'm very much for the children, but at the same time I'm very much for reasoning. Like, what's the reason for right? So if the father was asleep and he was tired, which he naturally was, because he was asleep and the daughter was asleep, she just woke up and do what kids do. Why wasn't the door locked? If the door was locked, no way that child would have got out that house. So evidently, the mom must have left the door unlocked. Not trying to throw all the blame on the mom, but if the dad the dad can only do so much and he's working, the mom's out running errands. The thing is, why did you just not take the child with you? Why did you not make sure the door locked? So this is what we're gonna do instead of passing blame on the mom or the father. Even though you can twist it and turn it all day long. Just from here on out, parents, if you have children, just make sure the door, just make sure if the other sibling in there, they're tired, they're asleep, and y'all have little children, make sure the door locked. That's all you got to do. Either tell them to get up and lock it if you can't lock it from the outside, or you lock it from the outside. That way you won't have that problem, and everything will be all right. So we need to just be more cautious and more aware of our situations and what we're doing, because you don't want, number one, forget the damn felony charge. You don't want to find your baby dead. Forget the charge. The charge ain't shit. But at the same time, you don't want to find your child dead when you know you really could have made preventive measures, even though we don't think about that all the time, because if that's the case, we could prevent a lot of things. But at the same time, you don't want to have to go through these situations dealing with police and you already grieving on the loss of your child when you did not beat this child, when you treated this child right. I mean, you might have left the child outside too long. Hell, who didn't get left outside long when we was outside playing when we was young? Even though I wasn't no 2 years old, but I do remember being outside playing my ass off. Let me know what you all think about this video. And to this angel who lost her life, you know, may she rest in peace, even though I hate saying that due to the fact that what happened to him. But, you know, just something that we say as people. Let me know what you all think. And to the parents, you know, I mean, just, hey, you know, it's a sad situation. It's just a sad situation. But no matter what, I'll keep you all updated. But let this be the lesson that you take from this story right here. The moral of the story is just use preventive measures, because you never know. You never know the day, nor the hour, or the time that things going to happen. And we can't prevent everything. But a lot of things, like in this situation, it could have been prevented if what? The door was locked. She wouldn't have been able to get outside and freeze to death. Let me know what you all think. If you like the video, push that like button. If you like, subscribe, definitely share the video. And until you all stay blessed, have a great, wonderful Sunday. And I'll see you all later. I'm out.